So there is evidence that a certain feature that all fans wanted so bad in Hogwarts Legacy was actually in the game and then removed. Now what happens if a Slytherin goes into Grythendoors Common room or Hufflepuths? Well, something very interesting, and looking down on your broom without actually descending, a new game plus mode, and lastly, custom uniforms for other students. We got lots to get through, so let's dive into it. A like is appreciated, but turn that into a dislike if you get to the end and you didn't enjoy the video. So first things first, we've been talking about how good the attention to detail is in this game, and if you think it, you should probably go ahead and try it, because you might get a surprise like I did when I was curious to know what happens if you attempt to go into another house's common room, and at first, nothing happened, but then I went specifically to Gryffindors and Hufflepuffs, and wow, was I in for a treat or what? Now players from any other house will want to think twice about walking up to the barrel when it comes down to Gryffindors, as doing so will cause them to just be dosed in vinegar. But when another student goes there, you can actually see it open up for them, which I thought was interesting, and also my curiosity just led me down the path to wonder, if I go invisible, will I still be detected? And the short answer is yes. Now on the other hand, if you head down to Hufflepuffs, you actually get a few interesting things, or different things so to say, that do happen. So you'll either get asked what the password is, or you'll simply be told to just go away.
The password for today is please go away.
Now, I was curious to also see if students would react differently to me, which sadly didn't happen, but I do think would have been a cool feature nonetheless. Now, we have evidence that a much requested feature that so many fans wanted in this game was once upon a time there and then removed, at least so it seems, and that is the curfew system. So someone shared the following: it's a huge missed opportunity to not have a curfew system, and evidence that it was actually cut. Both the restricted section mission and the first Alohomora mission are fantastic and is a big change of pace inside the castle. However, in the first mission with the caretaker, your character says, "What about curfew?" And even the caretaker is like, if you're looking for them at night, use the disillusionment charm so you don't get us in trouble. So it actually seems as if it was a system at the point that that line was recorded, but then was removed, and I wonder what the reasoning was. Seems like it's already built since it works in missions, and it would also make exploring the castle at night completely different and as a whole a thrilling experience. So hoping it can come in a future update. Now my take on this is that it could have actually been a situation where it just became annoying when you want to go out and do missions at night, for example. But even with that said, if you had the ability to toggle it on or off, I actually think it would have been great. Also, quick side note, loads of people want to roleplay in the game as an actual student, so I think it would have been great to have it specifically for that type of gameplay experience. But I'm keen to know what you guys think about this, so let me know in the comment section below. Now, anyone else wish you could look down whilst on your broom and not descend? Now, I've seen loads of you guys suggest this in the comments, and it's so important, because I personally find it becoming a little annoying, especially when you are over the forest and you're searching for things. And a while back someone gave such a simple solution on just swapping the buttons around, but now that the game is officially out, it does actually seem like a general tweak that so many people want. So fingers crossed it is an update that they can just go ahead and tweak and, you know, ultimately just change the layout as a whole. Someone also did suggest something that I thought was really cool, and that was, what if there was like a free camera option where you can just have the ability to literally just look all around, kind of like a cinematic experience? That's something else that I feel would be really cool. So again, it just boils down to that option to toggle something on or off. Now, a new game plus mode needs to be added. Someone mentioned the following: I know this isn't probably a big deal for most of you as the game is still very new, but I'd love to see a new game plus option where we keep all of our spells and unlocks. So here's the thing, before this game actually launched, most people, including myself, were a little little unsure on how a New Game Plus mode would actually work, but a lot of people still wanted to really see it. Now that the game is out, from my perspective, I actually think that a New Game Plus mode would work perfectly, because again, you'll want to use it for different houses, etc., to just see what other unique experience are there. And again, I'm curious to know your thoughts, so do let me know your take on this in the comment section below. Now, another user also did mention how I kind of wish a few other students would have custom uniform, because it just feels weird that I'm the only one walking that can actually tweak it. Like, sprinkle in a few NPCs with the fanatic robe or something. And to be fair, I think it's actually a good point, and it did actually get me thinking as well on how seasonal events could work in this game and whether or not it's actually going to be something they do implement. And here's another thing that's getting really interesting. We've just got some information regarding a potential, well, specifically 2 DLCs coming out for this game that was found in some mysterious files, which I'll be talking about later today. But I think what's really important here is, where does this game go beyond the point of completion, right? That's a really big topic that so many people are talking about, because are we going to get, the DLCs, and what will the DLCs actually entail of? Is it going to be a full-fledged DLC? I mean, there's been so many people even been talking about a multiplayer, and I gave a suggestion the other day that, hey, what about instead of a full-fledged multiplayer, they implemented something a little bit easier where it's kind of like an online leaderboard. So you know how you can, of course, do the broom races? What if that was either, kind of an actual scoreboard that was either global or specifically to your friends list? I thought that was a great idea, because what's cool about that is it just really implements that competitive aspect into the game. And again, it just makes you want to go back in there and kind of, polish up your skills, etc. And it can work in so many different scenarios. So that's another thing that I guess it really boils down to, are they going to listen to the community, and how many things will they add into the game? Now, there are so many undiscovered things in this game that so many people completely overlooked, from removing your hood or adding it, right down to a certain tweak to your settings that is literally a game changer that I seriously wish I had known sooner, because the difference that it makes is quite literally day and night. And on that topic, don't be the person who walks or flies around waiting for time to go by, because you can make it day or night in this game with a simple click. So check out that video that you see on screen, or alternatively, 4 very horrible things that you can do in Hogwarts Legacy.